All right, welcome to Yin. So this is a slower class, so if you are not used to slow classes, be aware that that can be very challenging for people sometimes, especially when you might already have a lot on your minds. Sometimes Yin and the slowness of it can cause a little bit of anxiety. So if that's you, that's okay. Know that that's normal. You can always move or do whatever you need to at any point in time. For our class tonight, I was thinking we might want to do some nice shoulder opening and a little bit of work through our hips. So I know that I have been kind of sitting hunched over the computer even more than usual lately. I'm guessing I'm not the only one. So we'll focus on that and start on that more in the beginning, and we'll add in some hips because that's always, always good. So the first thing I'd like you to do is grab a blanket. And if you have one of those yoga blankets that's a little bit thicker, that can be kind of nice. We're going to roll it up so that we're making a little tube. If you don't have a blanket, a smaller pillow could also work for this. What we're going to do is we're going to lay over this so that we're opening through our chest. So we're going to put this on our yoga mat. And we're going to lay so that it hits us right under our shoulder blades and we can kind of drape ourselves over it. So lay down over your blanket roll, over whatever you have. You might have your arms in this kind of cactus arm position. You could also have your arms in any other position that's comfortable. Legs can either be in kind of a constructive rest position or it could be stretched out long. As you begin this position, take first some time to make yourself nice and comfortable. So if there's anything you can do that would make you more comfortable in this position, take a few moments to do that. When you've arrived in your comfortable position, begin to notice the ground supporting you. So notice that connection between yourself and the floor. Notice all of those places that you're nice and supported. Begin to notice how your body feels tonight. You might notice if there's places where you're carrying tension. You might notice if there's any place that's a little sore or needs a little extra support. You might notice distracting sounds in the background. Notice them and let them go. And then begin to bring your attention to your breath. Notice that rise and fall of your belly and chest. Notice the air moving in and out of your nostrils. Notice the pace of your breath and decide if you would like to keep your breath exactly as it is, or if you would like to begin to lengthen your exhale to invite your body to relax a little bit more. Continue that breath, noticing the sensation with every inhale and every exhale. Like to set an intention for your practice tonight, this would be a lovely time to do that. Your intention can be anything that keeps you grounding into your body and present, or perhaps sometimes we like to set an intention It's kind of a wish or a blessing to the world. So maybe sending some energy out to a person or situation that could use a little extra support. Take about 3 more breaths and notice whatever's there to be noticed. Gently release that breath. And if you're ready for some movement, you might begin by rolling onto your right side, lifting up a little bit and moving the blanket roll off to the side. And then return to lie flat on your body. Stretch your legs out long, arms come overhead, big full body stretch. Get nice and long, and then let your limbs relax. Keep your hips and shoulders where they are, and move wrists and ankles over to the right, making the shape of a banana. You might notice a big side body stretch through your left side. Come back to center. Move wrists and ankles back to the center. And then again, keep your hips and shoulders on the ground. Wrists and ankles come over to the left. A nice full body stretch on your back body, stretching out through your right side. Take a couple of breaths here. When you're ready, come back to center. Do that full body stretch from your back body once again. Stretch from your fingertips all the way through your toes. And then let your limbs relax. Your arms can come down alongside your body. Take a couple of breaths. When you're ready, slowly begin to make your way up towards a comfortable seat. If you have your blanket, you might set it back to a fold and then sit on the edge of your blanket to lift your hips just a little bit. Start by sitting nice and tall through your spine. You might roll your shoulders up, back, and down. Tuck your chin just a little bit. And then once again, find your breath. Focus for just a moment on that nice long exhale. So we're going to do a 1-2 breath where we're working to make our exhale twice as long as our inhale. So you can begin by taking a nice breath in, perhaps count 1. And then nice longer exhale for 2 counts. Repeat that again. Inhale 1. Exhale 2. You might lengthen this with your counting by inhaling for 2 counts. And then exhale for 4. Continue with this pattern with any counting system that works well for you. So you can count with 1 and 2, 2 and 4, perhaps 3 and 6, or 4 and 8. You to make that exhale twice as long as your inhale. That's a good choice. You might notice as you settle into your breath that you can begin to use a longer count, slowing everything down, but continuing to keep the exhale twice as long. When we breathe with longer exhales than inhales, that's allowing our body to engage our parasympathetic system. So the parasympathetic system is the rest and digest, you might have heard it called. It's the part of your system that allows everything to slow down and for your body to continue some of those functions that it does not have as much chance to explore when you're in a more hyperactive mode, especially if you're very stressed. So having a little bit of time to lengthen your exhale actually tells your body, instructs your body to begin to relax. Take 5 more breaths following the same pattern. One more breath, just like this. Long exhale out. Return back to your natural breath. You might take a moment to straighten your legs, shake them out a little bit. You might make some circles with your ankles. And then return to a comfortable seat. It can be a different comfortable seat than you were using before. We're going to first start with rolling out our neck a little bit. So begin to make nice big circles. Moving very nice and slow. Noticing all the sensations at the different points along the way. If there's any place where you'd like to stay and pause for a few moments, work out any muscles that need to be stretched in that place, you're always welcome to do that. Keep your neck supported as you go to the back, so don't let it drop all the way back. Just open up enough to look up towards the ceiling and open through the front of your throat. Begin to move in the opposite direction. Nice big circles. You might notice this side might feel a little different than the first. So there might be different places where you feel tension or need to pause for a moment. Know that that's normal. One more circle. And come back to center. We're going to move through the 6 directions of the spine before we get to some of our longer holds tonight. So we'll start by sitting nice and tall. Inhale, lift your arms up. Big stretch through the center, look up. And then bring your right hand down to the floor, tip over to the side, open your chest towards the ceiling. Pause for a moment. Nice long side body stretch again. Your next inhale, lift up. Other side. Hand comes down to the floor, tip to the side. Open your chest towards the ceiling. Pause, let the body lengthen. Inhale, lift back up to center, look up. Exhale, twist over to the right. Bring your hands down to the floor and to your knee for support. So left hand on your knee, right fingertips back behind you and twist. You can look to the side wall or the back wall, whatever is comfortable for your neck. Your next inhale, begin to unwind, stretch your arms back overhead, and then twist in the opposite direction. Again, find that support through your hands. Sit nice and tall through your spine. So don't lose the length and the space between the vertebrae just because you're twisting. Keep nice and long. Inhale, unwind, stretch your arms overhead one more time, look up. And then exhale, bring your fingertips down in front of you. Walk them forward just a little bit. And then begin to round your spine as you look down towards your ankles. So you inhale, pull your chest forward, look up, shoulder blades come together. Exhale, round your spine. So this is a version of cat and cow from a seated position. Move through these two positions, perhaps moving with your breath. Do 3 more rounds just like this. One more. Exhale down. Inhale, neutral spine. Walk your fingertips back up. Come to a seat. Take a nice deep cleansing breath. Exhale it out. Go ahead and straighten your legs once again. Take a moment to shake them out. If you know that you like support from a bolster, a cushion, or a block in forward folds, you might prepare those now. And when you're ready, bring your right foot into that inner hip crease. Sit nice and tall. This is yin, so your foot can be relaxed. We're going to start by walking forward, leading with your chest, but then you can round your head down and let gravity just bring you down towards the floor. Some people really enjoy having a block or something to rest their head on. So if that's you, you're absolutely welcome to grab any props that feel supported. We're going to be here for a couple of minutes, so if you need to make any adjustments along the way, please take the time to make those adjustments to make yourself as comfortable as you can be. You might notice where you feel sensations happening. So perhaps there's something through the back of your leg, your hips, or your spine. Notice those sensations. we move towards the end of this side, begin to notice if anything feels different now than when you started. Take 3 more breaths. After your 3rd breath, slowly begin to rise back up. Straighten both legs. Bring your fingertips back behind you. Lean back, open through your chest. Rock a little bit from side to side. Slowly lift up when you're ready. Begin to set up for the second side. So again, this is yin, so your foot can be nice and relaxed. We start with a tall spine, but then we round down at the very end. And if you would like, you can rest your head on a cushion or a block. When you're ready, fold forward. Again, this is a slightly longer hold, so if you ever need to make any movements to be more comfortable, you're always welcome to do that. You're welcome to take breaks at any time. You might start just by noticing how your body feels as you enter this side. It might be different than the first side, that's okay. Continue to use those sensations in your body and your breath to keep you grounded in the present moment. Take 3 more slow breaths. After that 3rd breath, begin to rise back up nice and slow. Straighten both legs. You might again repeat, bringing your fingertips back behind you and opening through your chest. If you'd like a little bit more, you can plant your feet, lift your hips, come up to a reverse table. Take a couple of breaths there. Your hips are lifted, go ahead and lower them back down to the floor. And then come back up towards the seat. Cross your ankles, roll over your shins. We're going to come down to our belly. You can start by bringing your arms out to the side, resting your forehead or your cheek on your hands. We're going to do 3 rounds of back bends from here. So when you're ready, you can start to rise up for the first one, bringing elbows just slightly forward of your shoulders. Shoulder blades pulled down. Tuck your chin just a little bit, look forward. This is called Sphinx. So if you'd like, you might come to this for all 3 of your back bends. Notice that sensation through your lower spine. Continue long, slow breaths. One more breath here. And then bring your hands together, elbows come out to the side, lower back down. Turn your cheek to rest on your hands. Take a break. When you're ready, rise up for your second round of back bends. You can repeat the same thing you just did. If you would like a little bit more, you can press into your hands, lift your elbows off of the floor, rise up for seal. If you're in seal and at any point you become tired, you can always drop your elbows back down to the floor. So choose what feels like a good back bend for you. Pull those shoulder blades together. Ears and shoulders have lots of space. And breathe. Couple more breaths here. When you're ready, elbows come back down to the floor, palms stack. Turn your head in the other direction. You might bend your knees. Let your feet wave a little bit from side to side. That can help to release your lower spine. Bring your feet back down to the floor. We're going to do one final round of back bends. So select your favorite back bend. You might return to that Sphinx position we started with, the seal. If you love Cobra or fingertip Cobra, you might try that out. I'm going to try out fingertip Cobra. Fingers off of the mat, lifted nice and high. Take a few breaths here. When you're ready, lower back down on your exhale. This time, press back to a child's form. So toes touch, knees go wide, arms stretched out in front of you, forehead on the floor. Let your lower spine lengthen back out. Take a few moments to reconnect with your breath and your body. And perhaps come back to that intention. If child's form is not a comfortable reconnecting position for you, you're welcome to come up to any other comfortable position. If you're still in child's form, begin to make this an active child's form by coming up onto your fingertips. And then walk your fingertips over to the right. Another side body stretch. Come back to center. And then walk fingertips over to the left. Head can float or forehead can rest on the floor. Come back to center once again and lift up to a tabletop position. If you would like a blanket under your knees, this is a good time to add that for a little bit of support. Get nice and grounded into your hands, your knees, and your toes. Start by doing a couple of rounds of cat and cow from this position. So pull your belly button up towards your spine as you look down. Drop your belly button down as hips and gaze looks forward. Move through this a couple more times. If there's any additional movements that would feel good here, you're welcome to add that. One more round. Come back to a neutral position. Look forward, step your right foot forward, and you might stay here with your fingertips down on the floor. You might bring your hands up to your knees, or you might lift your arms overhead, look up, add a bit of a back bend. If your arms are lifted, you might even bring your arms down to cactus arms. Pull your shoulder blades together, look up, open through your chest. Release some of that rounding we've been doing all week. Take 3 breaths. Then shift your weight back, hands come down to the floor. Step your right knee back. Pause for a moment, get nice and grounded. And then left foot comes forward. Again, fingertips can stay on the floor. You can bring your hands to your knee, perhaps begin to shift your weight forward. Perhaps lift your arms all the way overhead, look up, and maybe add those cactus arms, opening your chest. 3 more breaths. Exhale, shift your weight back, hands come down to the floor. Step back towards that tabletop position. Do a couple rounds of cat and cow. Release any tension that built up through your spine. One more. And come back to a neutral position after that. We're going to move towards the yin variation of pigeon, which we call sleeping swan. So for this, you can start by sliding your right knee forward and then bring your ankle over to the left. You can shift your weight back, walk your back knee back, and then when you're ready, lower down. If this does not work for your knees or your hips, you can take a variation on your back where you cross your right ankle over your left knee and work your knee open to the side. So find your variation. And for yin, we're not worried about getting our shin parallel to the front of our mat at all. We're just letting it be nice and tucked in. Your heel is nice and close to your body. And then we lower down from there. You're always welcome to use anything that would feel supportive to you. So if you would like to put a bolster, a blanket, or a block anywhere, you're always welcome to do that. next inhale, begin to rise up. Lean onto your right hip, swing that left leg all the way around. And a couple of choices here. For some of you, it might be plenty just to have that left ankle in front of your right knee. Some of you might work to stack your knees, moving towards cow faced. So you're going to work to walk your ankles up so that they're kind of in line with where your knee is. You can flex your feet, press your hands into your feet, stay here, or maybe fold forward. Take a couple more breaths. You're folded forward, slowly begin to come back up. Unwind your legs, straighten them out for a moment, shake them out. And come back to that tabletop position. We'll do those same two things on the other side. So you can start by sliding your left knee forward. Bring your left ankle out to the side. Walk your right knee back. Get nice and long. And then fold forward. You might rest your hands on a little pillow made out of, rest your head on your hands. You might use a blanket or a bolster there. But take a few moments to get nice and comfortable. Notice where you're feeling those sensations. Find that slow, deep breath. Take a few more breaths here. When you're ready, begin to lift up. Shift your weight onto that left thigh, swing the right leg all the way around. And again, remember lots of variations. You might simply have your right ankle in front of the left, and that might be plenty. You might stack your knees on top of each other. It might look more like this. You might work to get knees directly over each other. Flex your feet, hands to your feet. Stay upright or fold, whatever works better for you. Notice where you're feeling something happening. Take a couple more breaths. When you're ready, inhale, rise back up. Uncross your legs, shake them out again. While you're here, you might roll your shoulders up, back, and down a few times. You can do this from a cross-legged position as well if you prefer. We're going to prepare to move to our back bodies. So you might want a couple of things here. A block would be nice if you have blocks available. If not, you can use a cushion. And you might also want some kind of bolster or again a cushion of some kind. So have those nearby as you begin to come back to your back body. Start by crossing your right ankle over your left knee, open your knee out to the side. This is a more gentle version of what you just did. A couple of choices here. If you like to lift your foot off of the floor and interlace your hands behind your thigh, you might do that. If you would like to explore that cow-faced pose in a lying down position, you might bring your right knee all the way over your left, bring your feet out to the side, grab onto the outer edges of your feet, and stay there. Remember, you can always try something and then move back to a different position if what you tried does not work for your body. If you're in that full cow face position, you might come back to more of a knee over ankle. Bring your arms out to the side, cactus arms or straight arms, whatever you prefer, and drop your knees over to the left. So you're welcome to keep your right ankle stacked on top of your knee or stack your knees, whatever feels better for you. Try to keep your right shoulder on the floor and look over your right shoulder if that's comfortable for your neck. You might notice where you feel this twist happening through your spine. Slow, deep breaths. Take about 3 more breaths here. Whenever you're ready, begin to gently unwind. Pause for a moment, either in constructive rest, or if you prefer, you might hug your knees into your chest, rock a little bit from side to side. And then return your feet to the floor for the second side. Cross your left ankle over your right knee, open to the side. If you'd like, you can lift up your right foot and interlace your hands behind your right thigh. Or you can work towards that cow face position from laying on your back. So pick whatever works well for you, knowing you can always change your mind. Settle into that position. couple more breaths. If your feet are lifted up, return them back to the floor. Arms come up to a T or cactus arms. Knees drop over to the right. Again, you can keep your knee crossed or you can stack your knees, whichever you prefer. Perhaps look over your left shoulder. Try to keep both shoulders on the floor. Again, notice where you feel this twist through your spine. Take 3 more breaths. When you're ready, gently unwind to center. Once again, either hug your knees into your chest or come to that constructive rest. Feet wide, knees touch. And then lower your feet down to the floor if they're not there already. Find your block. Press your elbows into the floor, lift your shoulder blades a little closer together, and then press into your feet, lift your hips, slide that block or cushion underneath your bolster, underneath your tailbone, and let your hips rest there. It can be on level 1 or 2, it's not the tallest level, unless you are really mobile through your spine. Start by staying here, taking a few breaths, moving into our final inversions. And decide if you would like to stay here, or if it's part of your practice and you'd like to begin to lift your feet up towards the ceiling in a legs up the wall variation, you're welcome to do that. Take 5 more breaths wherever you are. After your 5th breath, bend your knees. If they're not already there, bring your feet back to the floor. Lift your hips, slide the block off to the side, lower all the way down to the floor. Hug your knees into your chest, rock a little bit from side to side. And we're going to set up for our final resting position. So from here, if you have it, go ahead and make a little bit of a ramp that you can lay back on. You can also just put a cushion under your upper back area. That will work just fine. Sit up nice and close to that. And then go ahead and lay back over your cushion. You can bring the soles of your feet together if that's comfortable. You could also do more of a constructive rest, knees touch, feet wide. You might place one hand on your heart and one hand on your belly. Come back to your body and back to your breath. As you're resting in this final position, I'm going to read a short meditation to you. So I know I've been enjoying the times when I can get outside, the beginning of the weather warming up. And especially now when we're a little more trapped in our houses than we're used to, it can be really helpful and really important to get outside and to move around. So we're going to take a little walk through the woodlands. Let your imagination take you out into the woods for an adventure that will help you feel refreshed and more like yourself again. These woods are quite special, a place where you can escape and feel safe, your own private hideaway. Pretend you are there now. It's the perfect day to be outside. It's gorgeous and the temperature feels great. Overhead, the sky is a brilliant blue. The sunlight surrounds you with healing light and warms you through and through. The clouds form a multitude of shapes and drift on by. And as the clouds come and go, your worries evaporate. Your mind clears like the depth and expanse of the infinite sky. The trees are magnificent and the woods are brimming with life. Imagine yourself walking along a path. Take a little time and notice what it's like. How wide is it? What is it made of? How does it feel to be walking on this path? With each step you take, you notice how you feel more and more alive with a bounce in your step. It's hard not to smile. Walking feels effortless and invigorating, like you're gliding upon a magic carpet. Walking along, your tiredness melts away, and more you notice feeling renewed and revived with boundless energy. Looking around, notice your surroundings. There are many types of trees, all different sizes and shapes, each one inspiring in its own special way. Perhaps there's a rainbow of smiling wildflowers dancing in the light. The smell of the woods come alive. Notice the sounds that come and go. Perhaps you hear the sound of a gentle breeze rustling through the leaves, the songs of the birds, or an occasional bark of a dog off in the distance. What other sounds can you notice? The sunlight streams through, beaming a golden light that dapples through the branches above, casting shadows here and there. The air tingles and the woods sparkle with life. It feels radiant, and the fresh air renews your energy with each and every breath. Take a few moments to continue down your path, walking at a comfortable pace, following your curiosity and losing yourself in the sounds, the smells, and the colors of the park. You become aware of the distant sound of tumbling water. It sparks your curiosity as to where it's coming from. It might even be a waterfall. So you take off in a new direction, not sure what you'll find. You discover a beautiful creek that's gurgling and chuckling by. The water cascades constantly over the rocks like a dance. The water's surface glimmers and glows. If you wish, you might dip into the refreshing stream of water. Relish each and every moment. You're reminded that this very creek gradually flows into the river and then eventually joins the oceans of the earth. Come back to the path again and notice how the canopy of trees is protecting and comforting, and how the leaves whisper in the soft breeze. The sunlight sparkles through, bringing its warmth and wonder to everything it shines upon, and you drink in its beauty, soaking its magic into your heart of hearts. Notice how boundless energy begins surging through you, so you feel like joining in all the activity around, the birds flying, the animals hopping from place to place. Imagine yourself enjoying and having fun, exploring, discovering, and playing. Perhaps you'd like to fly like a bird or climb a tree like a raccoon and be carefree. Off in the distance, you notice a special place that has a hammock, a park bench, and a swing. You glide on over and settle into one or the other for a while, enjoying yourself completely and allowing yourself to daydream. You notice that an animal is trying to get your attention. What is it? What details do you notice? It's coming closer and you're getting excited. You can tell it has a gift or perhaps a special message just for you. And that's what happens. You're given a personal gift or a special message from this animal. Take a moment and notice what that message or gift might be. Notice that renewal of your energy. Notice your body relaxing with every deep breath of fresh air. You can tell you're being completely restored from deep inside, an unending and powerful source of energy and vitality. You continue on with courage and a willingness to trust, knowing that you can handle what's ahead with a knowing confidence. Having come back full circle, it's time to return from your woodland walk. Notice how your energy and resourcefulness has grown and expanded, and knowing that you can come back again and again, anytime you would like. Allow yourself to rest in this newfound energy. Begin to deepen your breath and bring your awareness back into your body. Begin to make small movements to wake yourself back up, perhaps wiggling fingers and toes or circling wrists and ankles. When you're ready, roll onto your right side body and take a couple of breaths here, on or off your bolster or pillow. Allow yourself to slowly transition back. as you feel ready, begin to press your way back up towards a comfortable seat. Taking your time, moving nice and slow. We'll end our practice taking one final breath together. Release your hands down to your side. Inhale, lift up. Palms come together. Exhale down. Thumb rests on heart. Thank you all for taking the time to be a part of this practice tonight, for making this space to be quiet and to find stillness. The light in me bows to and honors the light in each of you. Thank you.